Phones that gave away Iran's secrets. According to the New York Times, Israel pulled off one of the most devastating intelligence operations of the Spring War with Iran by following something deceptively simple: cell phones. On June 16th, top Iranian leaders met in a fortified underground bunker 100 feet below a mountainside. None carried phones, knowing they could be tracked. Yet, just minutes into the meeting, Israel jets bombed both entrances to the bunker. The precise strike, Iranian officials later admitted, was guided by the hacked phones of the leader's bodyguards waiting outside. Oh, yeah. Investigators say the problem wasn't just that day. Over years, guards and drivers carried phones, used social media, and ignored bans, allowing Israeli intelligence to map movements of senior commanders and nuclear scientists. As one former Iranian strategist put it, they did not take precautions seriously, and this is how most of them were traced. Israeli officials say their broader campaign, dubbed Operation Red Wedding, combined human operatives and advanced technology, with phones proving the weakest link. Okay, what's the real message here? It doesn't matter if you are in the middle of a war or you're going through a divorce. It's really easy for people to figure out exactly where you are at any point. This thing, the cell phone, reveals all. You think you're being sneaky, you're not fooling anyone. Okay, so let's dig a little deeper here. We all like the instant access of a cell phone, being able to access any idea in the history of humankind at our fingertips at a moment's notice. That's nice, but one of the ideas that other people are interested in, where are you? What are you up to? Who have you been talking to? Where have you been going? What have you been looking at? It's all revealed, and unless you are an absolute cybersecurity genius, chances are it will come out. The whole concept of privacy is definitely under erosion right now. There's no doubt about it. And we as human beings have to realize that. We have to understand there's pros and cons to everything. And this idea that we're all going to be able to do whatever we want and get away with it, not true. I'm hoping this creates more ethical behavior. If you behave ethically in part because you're afraid of getting caught, getting found out, well, that's maybe not as good as just acting ethically because you want to act ethically, but it's still better than doing things you shouldn't do. So these are new times. A lot of people under the age of 20 or under 30 have gotten used to this concept because they've never really lived with privacy. But for those over 30, this is still a relatively new concept. So again, the way it works is your cell phone is constantly sending out signals between towers, different cell phone towers, and satellites. So anyone with tech savvy can at some point figure out your exact precise pinpoint, your location. That's how Uber knows where to pick you up. That's how Waze can tell you where you are and where you should be going. So we all love that. I know I do. I don't want to go back to the days of fumbling around with maps and being lost all the time. But this metadata, the calls, the text, the app, it exposes patterns. The photos you post show the GPS coordinates. And if someone's out to get you, now I hope you're not waging a war or committing espionage, but if someone's out to get you, they are going to find you. If it's a friend, family member, a spouse, a boss, if they want to know where you are, they're going to be able to figure out where you are and where you've been. So use this I won't say sparingly, I will say use this knowing the full power. It's powerful for you and me. It's powerful for other people. Now, this point, it does have positives. This point was driven home to me recently. I had a friend who was serving on a grand jury in Manhattan, and she said it was a pretty easy job because not only could the district attorney show you footage of the person actually committing the crime, whether it's rape, murder, whether it's burglary, because there was footage of cell phones, but the perpetrator's own cell phone showed that, in fact, they were there. It wasn't some lookalike. Their own cell phone showed them there. So it was pretty easy to say, yes, okay, guilty, or at least indict. It was pretty clear cut. So we all need to be aware of this. And perhaps is this one of the main reasons crime especially violent crime, has gone down so much the last 30 years. There's a lot of talk about crime these days in America, at Washington, Chicago, LA. But what gets less attention and what sticks less is the idea that crime has been lower than it has almost at any point in the last 30 years. Yes, there was a slight dip up during the pandemic, but in general, the trend lines have been fantastic because they've been going down, down, down for the last 30 years. A lot of theories as to why that is. One theory that has a lot of credibility among mainstream economists, it's simply the fact that when abortion became legal in states, they typically saw their crime rate plummet 16, 17, 18 years later because there were fewer 18-year-old boys who grew up in unwanted households or unwanted in a household. And that's one theory as to why crime has plummeted so much. But another theory that I put a lot of stock in is this idea that even if you wanted to commit a crime, it's too hard to get away with it because not only of your own camera on your phone, a million cameras everywhere, security cameras, cell phones. It's just really, really difficult to get away with anything these days. And it's frankly not worth the effort. The old adage, crime doesn't pay, has never been truer than today.